What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Symone with the Sports. Lord Brunson here. Welcome back to his page.
Yes, sir.
Brunson, we just wrapped up the first preseason game. We got a preseason game
Mhm.
this week. Wrapped up our joint practices with the Browns. So we just had our second joint practice with the Browns. Reed Blankenship, 2 interceptions. It seemed like
Right.
he had 2 interceptions today, multiple sacks yesterday from Jalen Carter, strip sack today from Josh Sweat. What are you the most excited about after the Browns joint practice?
After the Browns joint practice, it got to be Jalen Carter. It's just so much. You know what I mean? You really can't be excited about one thing for real, for real. But if I had to say, it would have to probably be Jalen Carter. But Reed Blankenship is getting really, really close on that list of things that we all should be excited about because we got question marks at safety. And when you see what Reed Blankenship is doing, I think he picked Watson off a total of 3 times. So when
Mm-hmm.
you see stuff like that happening, man, and they already talk about Reed basically solidifying his position, you're like, all right, now we got a legitimate safety who could track the ball, who could be somewhat of a ball hawk for us. But then when you fast forward to Jalen Carter, he out there putting all pro tackles on their back pockets. He out there wreaking havoc. Dudes is trying to double team him. They trying to game plan against him. So it's definitely Jalen Carter for me, man. What about you?
From the joint practice, I think based off the joint practice, like the thing I'm most excited about is Reed Blankenship because
Mm.
Reed Blankenship going into the season, I wasn't sure what to expect because he came in mid-season. We had a really, I mean, we got a good defense this year, but we had a really good defense last year, especially for like a safety with the defensive line, all that pressure we were getting up front. I didn't know like maybe Reed was catching lightning in a bottle. Will he be able to translate it to this season after the off season? Will guys, have film on him and be able to, exploit parts of his game? But seeing that Reed got even better than last season, like especially at this joint practice, because it's one thing to go up against your own players. You know their tendencies by now. He's been with the team all last season. But to see him go up against the Browns, a new team, a team he hasn't played before, a quarterback he hasn't played before, and putting up a performance like that is definitely Ed Reed Blankenship.
It's definitely, yeah. And you can't put a slight on what he's doing for real, for real. And then you see in the preseason game a safety leading the team in tackles, one of the guys we drafted in Sidney Brown. So like everything is looking up for the safety position. Even Kayvon Wallace, they talked about Kayvon Wallace today being extra physical. I think
Right.
one of the Browns officials or somebody that in the Browns organization had to scream at the team like, "Yo, somebody do something about 42." That's Kayvon Wallace. He out there being super physical. So I mean, these guys out here looking real hungry, man. They looking hungry, man. And it's almost unfair to pick just two people because
Right.
our seventh round pick, you know what I mean? I know I'm about to butcher his name. Morrow. That guy was phenomenal.
Ajo.
Right. He was phenomenal in our preseason debut as well. Um, a lot of guys showed up. I like Swift. You know what I mean? Swift is showing bursts. He's showing quickness. He's showing the ability to finish runs. Penny is also showing that he could be like a thumper, but then Gainwell is getting the number one carries. So everybody seems to be doing their part and coming together to make this, one of those seasons that we had last year for sure. I think we already knew we had the talent, so we knew guys were going to flash here and there. But this is really shaping out to me to possibly being the best draft class in Eagles history. You know what I mean? In terms of production from when you got drafted to training camp. Now we know we got to see regular season stats, but I don't know if I ever seen this many rookies flash at one time. Like Sidney
Right.
Brown is flashing, Carter's flashing, Nolan Smith is flashing, the seventh round pick is flashing. You know
Right.
what I mean? Everybody, Tyler Steen was also showing that he could be a bully, you know what I mean, that first preseason game as well. So all signs are pointing to these guys contributing as soon as they touch on the field.
So I got some specific questions for you. It's not going to be one of those, oh, what surprised you the most type deal.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to get into my specific questions, but I just wanted to say real quick, because you talking about the draft class and
Right.
y'all was really on here talking about drafting a running back. Like that's what I'm not going to let go because they were going to war over Bajan,
Right.
going to
Right.
war over Bajan. And y'all see
You
what
know,
we got in Jalen Carter. Like Hassan Reddick literally said yesterday, he sees Hargrave in Jalen Carter. Like he already
right.
sees how Jalen Carter is going to fill that Hargrave void. And for him to say that, like, y'all really wanted us to draft a running back. Look what DeAndre Swift is doing on the cheap. Look at
on the
that.
cheap,
That's what I'm
playing
saying.
for his life.
Like we kept saying, we don't need a once in a lifetime running back. Like, I'm just so glad we did not draft a running back. That's all I'm saying.
And and a part of that though is like we got to be smarter about that though, because like you got to know your team. We just ain't doing that. We building the trenches. There's no way in the world you thought that we was gonna waste the 10th pick in this year's draft on a running back anyway. It don't make no sense. My guy Stackhouse, what up? You know what I mean? It just don't make no sense. So just not happening. But yeah, what's your question?
I'm saying, because I'm just saying, because I had to go to war, and I know you did too.
Yeah.
For like 2 months.
Right.
Down on that Bijan boo. Like,
you know what I mean? and so they were so quick and they also were so quick to say, a lot of people, that Bijan is generational, but it's looking like Carter is looking generational to me. You know what I'm saying? Carter's looking real generational. I ain't heard nothing out of Bijan in camp, actually.
Except that my name is Bijan and not Bijan. That's the only thing I heard from him.
Oh, that's what he said? Oh, it's Bijan to me. I mean, but I respect your name.
All right. Let me get into my question. So we already talking about Jalen Carter. So let me go with this one. So when the first depth chart came out, Jordan Davis was ahead of Jalen Carter. Do you see Jalen Carter and Fletcher being the starters when the season starts?
Right. As far as Jordan Davis goes, I think if I'm building my depth chart, Milton Williams is ahead of Jordan Davis. And that's not a knock to Jordan Davis. We just real deep right there. You know what I mean? And Milton has, flashed in real small sample and real small opportunities, I should say, instead of sample sizes. So I think that they're going to end up starting this thing off with Fletcher Cox and Jordan Davis. But I think that you're going to see a lot of Jalen Carter, because Jalen Carter is more of a 3-tech. Is it the 3-tech is the smaller guy like Hargrave? So, he can come in, in those pass rush situations, as opposed to like those first downs and stuff like that, where teams most likely run. That's where you'll see more of Jordan Davis.
So Milton Williams ahead of Jordan Davis. Does that make you worried though? Because Jordan Davis, number 10, number 9 pick?
No, it doesn't make me worried at all, because it just speaks volumes to the talent that you got. Milton Williams was a dog at La Tech. You know what I mean? Milton Williams is a dog.
Tech, that's what y'all call it?
Ain't something. What is it? Whatever tech, wherever he came from, he was a dog over there. I think he just was in a bad conference. So, I mean, yeah, I got Milton Williams over him. You know what I mean? Jordan Davis, he not trash, but he just Davis is more of that.
When you perceive something with he not trash, but
he not because we don't understand the real difference though, Symone. Like, so people are down on Mozzie Smith right now, but you got to understand what Mozzie Smith is here to do. He's here to stop the run. He's like I'm getting it wrong. He's the defensive tackle. I think the 1 tech is the guy that's the bigger guy, the guy that's here to stop the run. You know what I mean? They got specific roles for these guys. You know what I'm saying? That's Jordan Davis's job, to stop the run. He's really effective at that. You know what I mean? It's just flashier when you see a guy like Jalen Carter, who got the quickness in the feet and who could move around like an Aaron Donald. You know what I mean? I think Jalen Carter is going to end up being able to move all across the defensive line at some point in his career. You know what I mean? He's just that fast and explosive. So I think Milton Williams is ahead of him, because Milton Williams could also come off the edge.
So sticking on the D-line, what you think about Barnett? You think he's going to end up getting cut?
Yeah, he out of there, man. He's a liability. He a hothead. We ain't got time for that. We trying to win championships. You know what I'm saying? We definitely trying to win championships. My guy, Craig Calloway, what's up?
What up, Craig? All right, so next. What am I going with next? Okay, so do you think the defensive line this year, and we're in preseason, you know what I'm saying? Like, the guys is popping off early. The young talent is popping off early. Do you think this line could be better than last year with the addition of Carter, with the addition of Nolan Smith, and the depth that we have at defensive tackle versus last year with the later round picks and Milton Williams popping off too?
I do. I think this defensive line could be better. It's all predicated around if we can get that push up the middle. And I think Jalen Carter is showing right now that he can, he might not have the sack total that a Javon Hargrave would have, but he's showing that he's going to be a problem in that middle. Like it ain't always got to be sacks. If you can get that pressure up the middle, you can. Robert Quinn didn't give us anything. Nolan Smith is going to give us something. You see what I'm saying? So I think that kind of balances it. I think we can have like another 70 sack situation.
Robert Quinn didn't gave us absolutely nothing.
Right, and I was excited about that. Right. I was excited about him coming too.
So moving on. Let's talk about the running back room.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Penny, after his performance in the Ravens game, and then after, I know Trey Sermon didn't pop off in the Ravens game, but Nick Sirianni all offseason has been going on and on and on about Trey Sermon and what he's been seeing in Trey Sermon. Do you think there's a chance Penny is not on 53-man roster after what we saw?
Penny got to make the roster. And me personally, I'm tired of hearing about Trey Sermon. You know what I mean? No disrespect to Trey Sermon, but when are you going to make the roster? When are you going to, you know what I mean? Like he's made the roster, but when are you going to get some playing time? Right. We keep talking about you in this light. Like, when are you going to beat somebody up for some playing time? I don't think he's better than Penny. I don't think he's better than Gainwell. He's not better than Boston Scott. You know what I mean? He's going to go back to the practice squad most likely. And I think Penny has to make this roster. It'll be criminal if he doesn't. Penny is a guy who shows patience behind this kind of good offensive line. Penny will be lethal in like that pin pull actions type of run style that we do. So I think it'll be criminal if Penny don't make it.
So Boston Scott, because the running back room is crowded. It's
very crowded.
Do you think it's a chance Boston Scott don't make it?
I don't think so. I think Boston Scott will make it for a number of reasons. I think he'll make it because he's a fan favorite. The giant killer Boston Scott thing, you know what I mean? We love that out here in Philly. Also, I think Boston Scott got some value. I think if you put Boston Scott at kick return and punt return and get Covey out of there, I think that would be a better fit for the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what I mean? I'm a firm believer. I actually got this from Trey Thomas when I had him on the show, that running backs make better punt returners. And when I thought about that, he was like, think about Reno Mahe. Those guys are short. Darren Sproles. Think about these guys in the punt return game because we get absolutely nothing out of Covey. I think we're misusing Boston Scott, actually.
So D. Greg said, where's the best section sitting at the link overall? I've only been to the link once. So, Brunson, you got to answer.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been in the box. I've been on the 50-yard line. The best section is whatever your money can afford, to be honest.
I feel like it's going to be the 50-yard line in the middle.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a party regardless. You know what I mean? I've been up top all the way up. You know what I mean? It's going to be a good one. So just go.
I should be at that game too, D. Greg. Mm-hmm. I should be out there. I'm definitely trying to hit the Miami game. I got to hit one of them Kelly Green games, and it's looking like the Miami game.
Right.
But yeah, I can see how, people might think Boston Scott might get pushed up on, but like you said, Boston Scott is like that Greg Ward. Like, he is staple on the team. Like, so I don't see Boston Scott going anywhere. And I get what you're saying about Trey Sermon, but I feel like at the same time, like I said, Nick keeps singing his praises. Like, so
let him come out there. Let him come out there and get a whole series to himself. Let us see it, because I ain't seen it.
So who do you think is a surprise player that might not make the roster?
That might not make the roster? Greedy Williams. I was excited for him, you know what I mean? But you got guys like Eli Ricks getting pick sixes in preseason games. You got Mario Goodrich playing good. It was somebody else in the slot. Job is playing really, really well. The cornerbacks are coming out here to play, like undrafted talent. Greedy Williams was a guy, you know what I mean, in college. He had the cool name Greedy. It didn't really pan out in Cleveland, whatever the case may be. I just don't think Greedy makes it. You know what I mean? I think Josh Jobe, Eli Ricks, and a couple other guys got something to say about, those backup positions.
Yeah, after signing Greedy, I'm gonna call him Greedy. After signing Greedy, I haven't heard anything from this whole offseason. We forgot we even signed Greedy Williams. But yeah, he's not. I'm surprised about Olamide. Like, I wasn't really expecting much from Greedy, just because of how thick the cornerback room is. I honestly forgot we even still had him when that preseason game came up. But I'm a little bit surprised by Olamide. I know he's hurt now, but I thought Olamide was going to come in and really push up for that Quez's spot because of what he was doing with the Falcons.
Right, and this is the thing, though. Like, he's better than Quez. I think Quez is just having a better camp. You know what I mean? Quez been in the system. Quez got the advantage. Right. Oz is better, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Definitely better. That's why I'm so surprised.
He's better. So I'm not surprised. I think that the Philadelphia Eagles are real family oriented in terms of, the players that's already on the roster. Like, it's Jalen Hurts' job and it's the wide receiver's job to uplift, you know what I mean, Quez. He been through the fire with them. You know what I mean? So of course they're gonna uplift him and give him more opportunities. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think Oz is just more talented. If you want me to keep it 100,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And yeah, he's definitely more talented and definitely proven. Like it wasn't just one season. He's been doing this over seasons, with a less capable quarterback, with a less capable offensive line, and putting
Right.
up the same numbers, but just way more consistent route running, way more consistent with his hands, with contested catches,
Hmm.
all of that. So I think, like you said, I think it's just him coming into a pre-established offense. It's already Quez, Devontae, AJ, Dallas Goddard, Jalen Hurts. They already got all that connection. I think that's probably what it is. I think it's just
Right.
him not finding his footing so fast.
I agree with that, and he's still going to make the roster. I think you got to carry him as a fourth wide receiver,
Yeah.
if anything.
So back to the running back because I forgot to ask this one. So we were talking on Birds of Broad Street, and a couple of them were saying that they feel like we should go ahead and extend DeAndre Swift based
Hmm.
off what we've been seeing at camp and based off, him popping off, him showing off, maybe get ahead of an extension while he's still cheap. What you think about it?
Um, it's not a bad idea, but I don't think Swift will take it. I think he'd rather bet on himself and see what's out there. You know what I mean? Because what if he signed that deal right now and go crazy? Now you locked up. Now we're gonna be in a fight with him because he's gonna want to restructure. He's not gonna want to report. He gonna think he's worth more. You know what I mean? So I'll just let it play out, and I'll let him hit the market. You know what I mean? Because he got to show us that he could play. He could play goddamn 14 games or something. Something. You know what I mean? He got a lot to prove for real, for real. So I wouldn't do it off the health history alone and just how fast these running backs come out. So I see the argument for it, but I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I agree. I'll say the same thing. I'm not paying DeAndre Swift off just what we've seen at practice. We got to see that in an actual game. Like it's one
Right.
thing to do it in practice, and then two, the health concern long term. And if we're going to pay and extend um DeAndre, we might as well have paid and extend Miles Sanders. Like, why would we go ahead and jump the gun on paying a running back when we already see, we can have a couple of cheap running backs because we're already a committee anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not paying DeAndre Swift. I'm not extending DeAndre Swift, not at all based off anything he did during the preseason and during no pads.
Right, but it's not based. He got a body of work on film
Yeah,
though.
he got a body
You
of
know what I
work,
mean?
but like you said, the injury history.
The injury history
And
will be
and
the main concern for me.
and my whole thing is I'm not paying a running back, period. Miles Sanders had a body of work with us and we ain't pay him. So
But
why am I
Miles Sanders can't catch. He can't
yeah.
catch. Swift can catch. Swift could get you 1,500 yards from scrimmage for real, for real. He can get you seven. Swift could really explode in this offense. You know what I mean? Like Miles Sanders, when he was on the field, we didn't really have an outlet for the running back. You know what I mean? To catch a pass. You know what I mean? Miles Sanders was just a test subject in the RPO game. Now, you know what I mean? If that running back don't get that ball, if it's Swift, he can go out for a pass, a quick, easy outlet, and can make people miss with his short area quickness. So I think he's definitely way more talented, or he got a deeper bag of tricks than Miles Sanders. But I'm still not doing it. The health is the major concern for me with that.
So do you think that Kenny G and DeAndre Swift are gonna be like a balanced attack, splitting carries, or do you feel like DeAndre Swift pretty much gonna be taking them carries from Kenny because they're so similar with the pass catching and stuff?
I think that it's going to be a running back by committee. I think Penny is going to get some of those yards as well. But this is where everybody has equal opportunity. All three running backs can run in the goal line. Miles Sanders didn't touch the ball down there last year. You know what I mean? When it was time to be in the red zone, they gave Kenny more opportunities down there, and Miles is a little bigger than Kenny. So I think it's going to be a running back by committee, but I think the passing game will benefit much more, and because you got Kenny and Swift who could catch. Also, Penny is a phenomenal blocker, so you really got a lot of different ways you could use these guys.
So, quarterback. What you been
Mm-hmm.
thinking about Marcus Mariota? Because I feel like Marcus Mariota was supposed to come in because last season we saw how towards the end of the season, all that work we put in, all that work Jalen put in, and towards the end of the season, the number one seed was in the hands of Minshew. So I
Mm-hmm.
felt like it was just so important for us to go out there and get a real capable backup quarterback, which I thought Marcus Mariota was going to be, but I feel like he hasn't even really been proving himself as a backup quarterback. What's been your take on Mariota?
So, but this is my thing with Mariota. Mariota was brought here. because you don't have to change the game plan if Jalen Hurts can't play. When Minshew came in against the Dallas Cowboys, he was a statue. You know what I mean? The RPO game was null and void. I just saw against the Ravens in training camp, well, in preseason week, the first preseason game, how he was able to open up a lane for Penny by just the threat of him keeping the ball and running, because Mariota can run. You know what I mean? Mariota got some wheels. So Mariota is here to make the defense still have to play honest and still have to conceal that edge. So Mariota got some value. And behind this starting offensive line, which he probably hasn't played that much behind, it'll be some opportunity for him to throw and complete some passes. And I think he's a little underrated there. I don't want Mariota. Mariota should never come into a game trying to throw 30 times, though. You know what I mean? We don't need that.
So do you think there's any chance Tanner McKee, especially after his performance against the Ravens, and Nick Sirianni was talking about Tanner McKee today, just talking about mentally going through his progressions, the way he read the defense, really the poise that I saw from Tanner, I thought was really mature for somebody coming in, a rookie, a late round rookie. I think he was like 6th round pick coming into his first preseason game. Do you think there's any, but of course he doesn't have that mobility like Jalen Hurts and Marcus Mariota has. But do you think there's any chance that he could push up for QB2?
Yeah. There's always a chance he could push up for QB2. Mariota won't be here next year, most likely. Wait, did Mariota get a multi-year deal, or he got like 1 year, like $8 million?
1 year, 5.
Yeah. So Mariota most likely won't be here. So there's always opportunity for McKee. I don't. He's going to make the roster, whether it's practice squad or whatever the case may be.
You talking about Tanner?
Tanner, because he does some things well. Like rookies usually don't throw with anticipation in their first, you know what I mean, preseason game. He was throwing guys open. You know what I mean? And that's really impressive. Right. And he's a big guy. He got a big arm. So yeah, I think he's going to make it. You know what I mean? But I don't think he's pushing for that second spot now. We paying old boy too much, Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, and I feel like just even instantly, like that $5 million. I was just like, because at that time we was strapped for cash. Like when we paid him that $5 million, we was broke. I mean, we still broke. But I'm like, that just seemed like a lot to dish out for a backup quarterback, and especially one that we're not sure about. Like, I just feel like that's a lot of money tied up in Mariota and him still to be a question for quarterback too. But I definitely like what I saw from Tanner McKee. So we're going to have to see the next game.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you looking out for in this next preseason game against the Browns? Who do you think is like on the bubble and has to prove themselves against the Browns?
Against the Browns, I'm looking to see more of Sidney Brown. You know what I mean? I want to see Sidney Brown, get some more playing time, because he was playing like his hair was on fire. He was all over the place. You know what I mean? That was really impressive because, we haven't really talked about him a lot in camp really shining. But when he saw a different jersey that didn't look like his, he was a different player against those guys. So I'm looking to see a lot from Sidney Brown. I'm looking to see some more of Tyler Steen. I want to see these guys continue to get reps and continue to get better. I'm always going to evaluate the linebackers and how they play. Nicholas Morrow was really, really good against the Ravens low-key. You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at that. I'm always looking at Nakobe Dean because Nakobe Dean has a lot of responsibility this year. So I'm looking at Nakobe Dean. Jordan Davis is another guy. Jordan Davis, he ain't falling out of favor with me yet.
Oh, you already called him trash, low-key.
No. He ain't falling out of favor yet, but it's guys that just appear to be hungrier. I will say that. Milton Williams appears to be hungrier.
But I feel like with Jordan Davis, one of the big things with Jordan Davis was the conditioning. And the fact that he's already came in, first of all, acknowledge the fact that he needed to work on that conditioning. The fact that he's already came in more well-conditioned, like I feel like that's a big up on Jordan because I think that was one of his biggest flaws last season.
Mm-hmm. And of course, I'm looking at Jalen Carter. I mean, I think Jalen Carter is, I ain't gonna lie, man. I think we got a generational talent on our hands at the defensive tackle position. Those guys usually take a little while to develop, but the stuff that he's doing right now is different. You know what I mean? It's different what he's doing right now. I mean, the guy looked up film to go against a backup against the Ravens to just make sure that he was going to just expose this dude. It's preseason. Nobody ain't doing that. But Jalen Carter, you know what I mean? And those are the guys that, end up being generational. So I'm always going to look at him.
So do you think that we're going to see Nakobe Dean in this game?
We have to. You absolutely have to see Nakobe Dean in this game because Christian Ellis is ahead of him You know what I mean? For real, to me, it's this camp. Morrow might even be ahead of him, but I know he was hurt. He didn't really play a lot. So that's why I got to get Nakobe Dean on the field. And I want to see some more Nolan Smith. I want to see how we're using these guys. I saw that, we had Bradbury in like a slot / linebacker position in some of the defensive sets. So it's like so much talent. And the Philadelphia Eagles are always looking to put guys in different places. I just want to see the defense for real. Like I have no concerns about the offense at all. You're not going to be able to do much against Devontae Smith, Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, Dallas Goedert, this offensive line, period. I don't care who you put out there. Like these guys are going to be able to move the ball. This defense is what's really going to help us win a Super Bowl, if anything, if this is the year to do it.
So do you think there's a chance that Nakobe is not starting when the season starts?
That's tough. That's tough, because I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking there is a chance.
This is why I say that. Like, I feel like Nakobe obviously did get on the field last year, barely got on the field when he did get on the field. And then getting injured during this preseason, that's another setback, I feel like, for him. Right. So this offseason, we haven't even really seen Nakobe Dean. We haven't even really seen where we're going to get out of Nakobe Dean because he's been hurt.
But that's our fault, though. That's our fault as an organization, right? Because we should have threw him in the fire last year. I understand we had the two guys on the 1-year deals with Kazir White and TJ Edwards. They were both on 1-year deals. So you want to get the most you can get out of those players. And so they can go get new deals, which they did. But you got to throw your guys in the fire. I feel like the Dallas Cowboys do a good job of throwing rookies in the fire. So you know what you got. You know what you're working with. We still don't know what we're working with. He got to get out there in the field. So he got to start week 1. He got to start week 1. We got to figure out what we're working with this guy.
I feel like we got to see what we're working with him in these preseason games. Like, first.
No, facts. Now, he was real good. Listen, he got some good tape, though. I will say that. He got some good tape.
Yeah. I just feel like the sample size has been small this offseason.
It's very small. One thing I did notice is that he's really good when he's playing closer to the boundary. You know what I mean? On that hash mark.
That's my whole thing with Marcus is, he got the legs, but nobody is scared of him putting the ball in the air. So when everybody keeps saying, oh, he's similar to Jalen, he got the same, he can run. That's it. Like Marcus putting the ball in the air is scary hours. It's terrifying. Minshew couldn't throw and couldn't run. All Marcus can do is run. Like at the end of the day, you got to throw the ball.
You do. I mean, listen, man, if you really want to go for it, I'll go grab Cam.
Cam old now, though.
But Cam could throw. He still could throw the football.
Could.
I go get Cam. Cam is a better backup than Mariota.
Cam is what, 40 now?
How old is Cam Newton?
He been laid up on YouTube doing podcasts, smoking cigarettes, drinking that brown liquor. Cam ain't ready to come into no game.
With a silk scarf on? Wait, let me see.
Right. Cam got his ankles out, podcasting just like us, drinking some brown. He ain't ready. He not ready.
Cam 34. He 34.
I just don't think Cam got it anymore. Cam old, bro. And Cam been doing some old man things. Like, I'm telling you, ain't see him on YouTube. Like, Cam not ready.
No, I ain't see him. Hold on. He got Marcus Mariota. Mariota got to be old too, though. Now, Symone.
But he got Cam old. And remember, Mariota wasn't doing anything. Cam got those Cam got hits.
Oh, Mariota only 29.
The wear and tear on Cam too, though. Like, keep that in mind. The wear and tear on Cam is not the same as the wear and tear on Marcus Mariota.
That's true. I didn't know Mariota was 29.
Yeah, Mariota is still youngish. I mean, he's younger than Cam, but absolutely not. Ain't nobody bringing in no Cam Newton. If you say that 2 years ago, maybe, but I feel like he hasn't been working out.
Yeah, he probably hasn't. Yeah, that was crazy. But I'm scared of Mariota. I'm scared of Mariota.
That's what I'm saying. And people keep saying he's similar to Jalen. No, because Jalen can throw. All Mariota can do is run.
But you don't have to change the game plan, though. That's the big thing. Like Minshew's not a terrible thrower. You know what I mean? He just got a weak arm. He's not a terrible thrower.
But that'll make you terrible.
I mean, because Drew Brees had a weak arm later on, but I'm not going to even talk about this guy and Drew Brees in the same sense. Minshew,
Minshew had a lot of problems because
he was trash.
Minshew wouldn't even throw the ball. I remember in the Saints game, he wouldn't even get the ball off. I was begging Minshew, just give him a chance.
Right.
We know A.J. Brown can make a play on a bad ball. We know Devontae Smith can make a play on a bad ball. Minshew wouldn't even get the ball out of his hands. He wasn't running.
He was just flustered.
Exactly. Minshew was flustered. That's it. So, and Mariota can't throw the ball, period.
Right. I don't know what we're gonna do.
But
this what we gotta focus on though. We gotta focus on not having so many design runs for Jalen Hurts to mitigate injuries, so we don't have to worry about ever seeing Mariota unless we're blowing somebody out.
But if we don't have the design, the thing that makes Jalen great is the thing that makes Jalen amazing is the threat with his legs. If we take that away, that's taken away from his game. That's taken away from.
You got to let him play. I agree. You got to let him play. You got to let him play his game.
And we got some 25 tough teams this season. Like when we were relying on Minshew, all we needed Minshew to beat was the little boys or the Saints. Two busted teams. I mean, I'm always call little boys busted. But come on now.
I agree.
This schedule, there's no week. No week.
I think the schedule only gets brutal after week 10. I think up until week 10, I think everybody is fooled. Yeah. I swear we're gonna be like 9-1.
But usually you're not worried about injuries until later in the season.
That's true.
Where he at on YouTube with us?
Where's Cam Newton these days?
But okay, we was in the middle of Nakobe Dean because I got thrown off. I feel like people assume, and I'm not saying he can't be. Again, we saw flashes. We definitely saw flashes. Right. But I think people assume Nakobe Dean's just going to come right in, sit right down, pop off, be amazing. But I think they're trying to force that because he was a third-round pick, because he should be next in line. Like, all of that should be happening in a perfect football world, right?
I don't think that's the reason why. This is the Buckus Award winner. He was the best linebacker in football. You know what I mean? That is why.
But he was he was also deemed as small. Not saying he is, but we have seen greatness from Nakobe. We've seen flashes.
Right.
But he was the Buckness Award winner.
Buckus.
But also on his scouting tape, what was there? Small.
Right.
Injuries.
Mm-hmm.
And playing on the best defense in football.
But he was the commander-in-chief on that best defense.
All I'm saying is we need to see some more film on Nakobe Dean before we assume he's going to jump in and run this ship.
He got to play the whole first half. He has to play the whole first half Thursday.
He does.
Or whenever we play, he got to play the whole first half. He got to get out there, man. He got to knock the rust off because, you know what I mean, people looking up to him. Mm-hmm. Like Nolan Smith is like, I followed Nakobe Dean. You know what I'm saying? Like he got, you know what I mean? Nolan Smith will end up having his job if we don't put him out there.
Yeah. So, that's all I'm saying. Nakobe Dean has to play this game and the last preseason game. We need to see as much as we can from Nakobe Dean before the season starts. That's all I'm saying. He's been really good in his small sample size, but a lot of other players have been really good in a big sample size against the Brown. Like Sidney Brown popped off, before the draft. He had hype, came in against our team, really good. In the preseason game, boom, good. Same with Jalen Carter against the Browns at joint practice, still looking good in all these different situations. We've only seen Nakobe Dean in a little small sample.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he probably on the best defense in football right now again. So just throw him out there. Throw him out there, man. You gotta throw him out there.
So do you think? Okay, because like you said, Morrow had a good game last game, and he was starting to come on slow, and that could just be because he was with another team last year. It's going to take them a little while to adjust. What do you think about the linebackers now after seeing Morrow starting to catch on? Do you think we need to bring another linebacker in here, or you think we good?
I think we good. I think we good because what's going to end up happening is Sean Desai is going to have so many packages that he's going to put guys in linebacker positions. You know what I mean? Like our cornerbacks are so good. They're looking at moving James Bradbury to like a big like a big 3 cornerback situation to where we'll play a little bit of linebacker. Bradbury could tackle. You know what I mean? You even can move Nolan Smith around. We've done that a couple of times in camp as well. You can have Nolan Smith playing off the ball as a linebacker. So I think we're good, man. We got a lot of versatile players.
Yeah, I think we're good at linebacker. And I'll be hearing so many people in my comments talking about, oh, linebacker. Oh, we going to get exposed. We going to get ripped apart, yada, yada, yada. First of all, there's no team in basketball, football, probably any sport where every position group is elite. Like,
right.
We can't expect to have an elite defensive line, an elite linebacker group, an elite safety group, an elite cornerback group. There's going to be a weak link somewhere. Like, we have enough talent around the linebackers for the linebackers just to be good. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need to be panicking and worrying just because we don't have an elite linebacker core. The pressure that we're going to be getting up front, the lockdown, Bradbury, Slade, Maddox, we see what we get from Sidney Brown. It's okay for us to be okay at linebacker. I'm not worried and sweating about linebacker. There's so many people in my comments acting like the season going to come to ruin because we got some okay linebackers.
The thing is, we don't have a lot of them that are known for covering. So if we don't get the pressure there, you know what I'm saying? We could be smoked. We get our boots smoked in the middle of that field.
So then why you say we good? Because you just said we good.
Because I feel like the pressure is going to be there. I feel like the scheme. I feel like we got to see the scheme, Symone. We ain't going to see it in preseason. I feel like the scheme is going to help a lot.
So you feeling confident in Desai?
Yeah, I'm feeling confident in him. You can't mess this up. Gannon is trash.
Right.
He went to the Super Bowl. You can't mess this up. It's way too much talent to mess up.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta be terrible to mess this up.
I mean, one thing I know is you ain't about to be bad. You know what I mean? You ain't gonna miss the playoffs. It's too much talent. If everybody stay healthy, you're gonna be a good football team.
That's what I agree. I feel like you had to be in what Gannon was terrible to mess this up. We got too much talent on this defense. Like too much talent on. So what was my last question? Kayvon Wallace. Kevin. Because that is the biggest thing. That's the biggest surprise to me. Like this whole offseason, Kayvon scaring people. Kayvon got coaches on the sidelines worked up. Kayvon Wallace, who we used to
hold now or never.
That's what I'm saying. So at first, when like camp started, I was thinking Kayvon Wallace was a fluke. Like, oh, why is Kayvon working with the ones? I'm like, seniority, whatever. But Kayvon really been showing something at camp. I think that's the biggest surprise. Do you think that Kayvon Wallace could be getting some more playing time this season? Like, how involved do you think Kevin gonna be in this defense?
I think he's gonna get some playing time. I think he's gonna get some meaningful minutes this offseason. I think that he potentially is also going to become our special team ace because we did lose Sean Bradley. You know what I mean? That's going to be a hit for the special teams room. Kayvon Wallace was pretty good, you know what I mean, solid on special teams as well. But Kayvon Wallace is a guy that needs to play with the defense for real. And I think the more reps he gets, the more his confidence will grow. And I think he's feeling some type of way. You bring in Edmonds, you know what I'm saying? Reed Battleship getting all this love. You know what I mean? You draft Sidney Brown right in my face. I've been here 4 years, or whatever the case may be. So I think he's hungry. You know what I mean? I'm rooting for Kayvon Wallace, actually.
What do you think about Quez? Because Quez kind of in the not as much as Kayvon, but Quez had his down year. He obviously heard the smoke on Twitter because he tweeting and was blocking people. What do you expect to see from Quez this season? You think he making that jump?
Oh, wide receiver 3. Well, it's no jump he can make. I mean, he's not going to be.
No, I mean, you think he's going to be better, not a jump over AJ and Devontae, but do you think he's going to take a step to improve? Like, do you think he's going to be looking better than last year?
He don't have no choice because the heat already on him. And if he screws up, they're going to be calling for Oz, who I believe is more talented anyway. You know what I mean? If Quez come out 2 weeks in a row and stink it up, he might be out of there.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm definitely looking out for Olamide because, like I said, I've been talking about. I was talking a lot, hyping up Olamide a lot. So I'm gonna have to start seeing something from Olamide, especially since I feel like the newcomers that we brought, non-drafted players, but like the free agents that we brought in, a lot of the free agents wasn't really hitting on nothing. Like Nicholas Morrow just started to hit on something, but like Terrell Edmonds, he wasn't. DeAndre Swift, obviously, but Terrell Edmonds, we haven't seen a lot from. Penny, we haven't seen a lot from. Justin Evans, hadn't seen a lot from. Nicholas Morrow just started to show us something. So Olamide was one that I was really gunning for, but he was looking like early on, and you playing with your quarterback from last year, so you can't say you're not familiar.
Was he hurt? Was he hurt during the preseason game?
Yeah, he recently got hurt. I don't know when he got hurt, but recently got hurt.
My guy Rod, what's going on? What's good, LB? You still traveling to Dallas for the game? Love my hurt season. Go ahead. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah. I'm pulling up. You know what I mean? Some people want to see me. You know what I mean? So I'm pulling up.
So what games you going to?
I'm going to the Dallas game in Dallas. I'm going to the opening day at the Link.
You going to the opener?
Yeah, I'm going to.
I just got my tickets.
It's just opening day. It's just opening day though. Like the Vikings, I don't want to see them opening day, but it's opening day. I'm trying to go to Miami. I want to go to the Bills game.
Oh, you going to all the games?
It's so many good teams we play. I've never seen Josh Allen. You know what I mean? Right. I've never seen Tua. You know what I mean? Think about this. The 49ers were talking crazy.
I gotta be at the 49ers game.
Right. I feel like I want to see the I want to see Washington, or I'm going to be in Washington for the Washington game. I'm gonna go to a couple. But I'm also going to do more streaming of the games this year as well. The ones I don't go to.
Oh, like live home. See, I can't stream from home because
I can't do it either.
I'll be too crazy during the game. Like people would think I'm insane. Like
I'm gonna have big cups of drink. This is gonna be ridiculous, but I'm gonna do it this year. They've been asking me to do it.
I can't even exploit myself like that because if we,
I think me and Philly Mike gonna co-stream a bunch of the games. So I'm gonna have him. I gotta give him a breather, man. Talking for 4 straight hours is wild. So you know what I mean? We're gonna bounce it off.
That's what I'm saying. That's a lot of work. Like
it's wild. It's a lot of work.
Remembering to entertain the stream, but you also trying to be locked into the game.
Right, and you know, all I know is our supporters, they really like when we do that type of stuff, though. So it's really for them at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah, right now I'm going to the opener. I was trying to decide between Bills and Dolphins because I want to go to at least one of the Kelly Green games, but I'm pretty sure the Dolphins is prime time, and I don't think the Bills are. So I'm going to the opener, Dolphins, and of course the 49ers.
Yeah, that's gonna be lit, man.
All right, y'all, we out of here. Appreciate y'all for jumping on the stream. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Lord Brunson if you haven't already.
Sir.
Make sure y'all check him out on Twitter because that's where he the most active.
Hey, I'm gonna stay off there at some point.
No, you're not. Make sure y'all subscribe to me, Symone. That's with a Y, y'all, not an I. Symone with the sports. But y'all, until we talk. Oh, somebody say you got him blocked. Why you got him blocked?
He got me blocked. Who you? I got you blocked on Twitter. You probably did something goofy. My guy Silas, what's up, Silas? Thank my guy for the super chat. I see my guy Silas in the building.
Who is that? This one?
No, that's my guy Rod. Silas. Yeah, King Solomon.
Oh.
Yep, he sent 2 of them things. My dog, man.
All right, y'all, we out. He said all I said was free Hightower.
Oh, that was a long time ago. I'm gonna unblock you, bro.
EC1 said you got him blocked on YouTube.
I got you blocked on YouTube? What you do, bro? You got like that's what I'm saying, bro. I ain't running around here just doing this to people for no reason. What you do? I've been said I was gonna unblock you though. And it probably wasn't me. Probably was the mods.
It's the block list for me. All right, y'all. We out.
All right.